Well, actually, this comes out of the concept of distance learning, which has been going on since the Greeks. So, yeah, I thought of it, but I thought of it because I stand on the shoulders of many giants. So I think that the thing that computing brings to the party, the distance learning party, and the everybody a teacher, everybody a learner party, is what I used the phrase earlier, store and forward. In order to teach, many times we store the information that we want to offer to somebody else, and then we forward it to them. If we're limited to communicating face-to-face, then we store it in our own memories and we speak it or we demonstrate it. If we've got writing, whether it's clay tablets or Gutenberg Bibles or whatever, we store it in a written form and we forward it. And we add that to our face-to-face teaching. Now we have these handheld devices that we carry on our person or our Google Glasses or whatever we've got, where we can receive the stored messages anywhere, anytime. Not quite, because it's only anytime, anywhere where there's a Wi-Fi connection. And that isn't most of the world.
Or a cellular connection.
Yeah.
If you can afford it.
If you can afford it. So we have the capacity to have universal connectivity, but we haven't implemented it yet. So we're all learners all the time. We're all teaching all the time. Many of us, certainly the privileged world, if you will, have access all the time to these computer-controlled communication devices. It completely changes the setting for supporting learning, what we call supporting learning teaching or educating. That's revolutionary. And it's 50 years since the free universities first started, and we're still struggling with, do we create environments where we put walls around a group of people whom we push into the room that has those walls, limit the stimulus that's in them, and tell them, you have to learn what somebody else tells you you're supposed to learn. Not only that, we're going to take away all the stimulus that might let you learn what you're interested in learning. So what we're doing today is taking iPads, which are wonderful receiving devices for all this stored and forwarded, whether it's online courses or whether it's an app or whether it's Wikipedia. We're taking those into a classroom. The kids know perfectly well how to get to the outside world with it. So what we have to do is give that machine a frontal lobotomy before we can let them have it in a classroom. There's a whole lot more education going on outside the classroom than there is inside the classroom. So when people start asking these questions about, well, do computers help teachers? It's like, of course they do. Of course they are a potential tool. They're a tool for everybody who wants to learn to use them. But do they help teachers to truncate the ability of the teacher to control what the learner is learning? I see them more as Trojan horses that break down the walls of the classroom and make it possible for anybody, any learner, to access a huge variety of teachers. And by the way, anybody who writes an app or writes something that they put online is a teacher. It's not just the person standing in that four-walled classroom with an intent to teach.